Free money from the government. But wait. No, there's no such thing as free money from the government. It's taxpayer funded. We're going to look at the big, beautiful bill, but more importantly, the Invest America Act. Maybe you haven't heard about this yet, but this part of the provision in the One Big, Beautiful Bill Act signed by President Donald Trump on July 4th, 2025. Why is this quiet? Are people trying to actively hide this? They're probably just saying it doesn't matter because the overall bill is going to hurt people. We're going to get to the bottom of what Invest America Act is, what it can do for your families, and how it's going to benefit America altogether. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act is a massive 870-page piece of legislation passed by the Congress. It's a budget reconciliation bill that touches almost every sector of American economy. Taxes, the border, security, energy, defense, healthcare, and there's more. But it's been called a cornerstone of President Trump's second-term agenda, extending many of the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act provisions while introducing new policies. But today, we're zooming in on one specific part, the Invest America Act. This provision hasn't caught enough attention, and for good reason. It's all about setting up the next generation for financial success. So what exactly is the Invest America Act? In simple terms, it's a provision within the bill that creates a new type of tax advantage savings account for kids. Think of it like a 529 college savings plan, but with broader purpose and unique twist, if you even know what a 529 college plan is. But here's the breakdown. The Invest America Act offers a tax-deferred accounts for children under the age of 18. They're designed to help families save for big life milestones like education, starting a small business, or even buying a first home. Talking about who is eligible. The accounts are for kids born between December 31st, 2024 and January 1st, 2029. So a very specific window. Not every child is going to qualify overall, but what's happening is the government is giving seed money. So the federal government, is kicking things off with a one-time $1,000 deposit into each account for qualifying kids. Contributions from family and friends can contribute up to $5,000 per year to these accounts, and employers can also make tax-free contributions. So the tax benefits, though, the money in these accounts grow tax-deferred, meaning you don't pay any taxes on the growth until your funds are withdrawn. So when the kid turns 18, withdrawals are then going to be taxed at the capital gains rate, which basically tops out at 20% today. Who knows about another 18 years? But the purpose of these funds used for specific goals like education or small business investments or a first home purchase for your son or daughter. This makes it a very versatile tool for young adults. Now you might be thinking, this sounds like a great deal. And on paper, it kind of does look like a good deal, but the idea is to give kids a financial head start, especially for big expenses that can set them up for success. Imagine an 18-year-old with a nest egg to pay for college or start a business or put down a down payment on a house. It's kind of the opportunity the Invest America Act is aiming for. And here's the cool part. It's got bipartisan support because it appeals to a universal goal, helping the next generation achieve the American dream. So why is this tucked into a massive bill like the Big Beautiful Bill? Well, this bill is a big, bold America First policies, and the Invest America Act fits right in. But it's part of a broader push to boost economic growth and family prosperity. The bill itself extends the tax cuts from 2017, like lower individual tax rates and higher standard deduction, while also introducing new ideas like tax breaks for tips and overtime pay. But let's be real. Nothing in politics is ever that simple. The Invest America Act sounds great, but it's part of a much bigger and frankly controversial bill. So let's talk about the pros and cons. What's the upside? And what are people worried about? So the pros, it's that financial security. That $1,000 seed money plus contributions from the family could grow significantly by the time the kid turns 18, especially with tax-deferred growth. For example, if you contribute $5,000 a year for 18 years at a modest 5% annual return, you could end up with $130,000 before taxes. Game changer for a young adult to be given that much money. But it also has flexibility, though. Unlike some savings plans that are locked into one purpose, like a college, this account can be used for education, a business, or a home. That makes it appealing for families with different goals. It has bipartisan appeal because real estate analysts and lawmakers from both sides see this as a way to help future home buyers, especially in a tough housing economy. But I'm looking at also, too, what are the cons? What are the overall cons with this? The first thing is it's free money. And I'm kind of like seeing some things as advertised as free money, and I'm like, no. Like I said in the opening, there's no such thing as free money from the government. It's taxpayer dollars. And then I'm wondering too, like, will people actually contribute money to this program? So great, you get $1,000, 1,000 times 5% over 18 years. I mean, it's something, but hey, will people actually start these policies? Will they actually start contributing money to them? And how much money can you really put in overall as a poor family or a brand new family who just had kids who's just trying to make ends meet? So the other thing, too, I'm wondering, in the grand scheme of it, will it create a new government department and cost more money to run? I mean, if you're going to be tracking all these kids and all the money going out, and of course, when they turn 18, they're going to be taking the money out. So now do we have more employees? Is this part of the IRS? Where are these employees going to be able to work and track all this stuff? So that's the interesting thing. And then I'm looking at the overall, like the social stigma of it, right? You got an 18-year-old who finds this money later on in life because they probably don't even know that they had the money in there. And if they find it, great. Hey, fantastic. They have money like I have money. I'm going to go buy a house or start a business. But if your family doesn't do it and your 18-year-old works up and a bunch of his friends are getting the money and they're like, Mom, Dad, why didn't you save money? Why didn't you put money in this account? Why don't I have the seed money to open a business or buy a house? Then you got problems like, oh yeah, sorry, son, we just didn't feel like it was worth your future. Or, realistically, they just couldn't pay. So those are the pros and cons. And I'm wondering, I got a few questions overall, good or bad, but what happens to the money if a kid doesn't make 18? Now, God forbid something happens and unfortunately doesn't live to be 18. Where does that money go? And the details really haven't come out yet. It's not going to be live until next year. But then also too, can the parents or someone else dictate what investment accounts it goes into? Can they be super aggressive? Can they be, hold it back a little bit? What can they do? What are the options that we can put the money for? And then who controls these accounts? Okay. Does the government control these accounts and control the money? Is it another Social Security pyramid scheme? Who's going to be looking at these dollars? And maybe it's just another way to put money into the government coffers. I'm not sure. Those are the questions I have, good or bad. What does the America Investment Act mean for you? If you're a parent or planning to be a parent and your child is born between those years, you could start saving with this account as soon as it's set up. The $1,000 seed money from the government is a nice bonus, and the ability to add $5,000 a year tax deferred could really add up. But you'll want to plan carefully. Talk to a financial advisor to understand the tax rules and how to maximize the account's potential. For the bigger picture, keep an eye out on the big beautiful bill and how it plays out. The Invest America Act is just one piece of a massive puzzle, and supporters like the White House call it the largest tax cut in history for working and middle-class Americans. But the critics, like the New York Times, warn it could strain social programs and favor the wealthy. But again, if you have the extra money to put it in, of course it's going to favor those with money or those that are willing to make the sacrifice for their kids and put money into these accounts. So what do you think? What do you think about the Invest America Act? What do you think about the one big beautiful bill? What do you think about Donald Trump? Okay, no, hold on. Even though this isn't about Trump, this is about the America and the future of America. I want to know what you think about this individual bill. We'll have other videos about Trump and everybody else going on in government. But hey, what are your thoughts overall and how are you going to participate in this? Do you have kids? Do you not have kids? Do you have grandkids? What's the future look like for them? And will this help you? So drop a comment. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified when I put out videos, and keep watching those headlines and keep listening to this for the truth between lines.
But